Hello, everyone. So my name is Daniel Kobana. Would you say? Today I'll be presenting on an argumentative topic called Should Canada Continue to Operate the Oil Industry? So on this, to answer these questions, I reviewed the two peer-reviewed articles, of which one is for the argument and one is against the argument. After the reviewing, I'll just show you where my stand is on this topic. So without spending much time, let's go into the article. So this first article is titled Oil Sand Development in Alberta, Canada. This is a geological, environmental, and social environmental industrial perspective review. What it's all about is the benefit of oil sand to the Canadian economy. So after the highlight, it shows that the oil sand, if Canada continues to produce the oil sand, it's going to create a lot of jobs to the economy and also contribute directly to the GDP. They also help with the Canadian energy security, which helps the country to stop relying on foreign oils too as well. So this is really beneficial to the country if the country continues to generate or continue to produce the oil sand in the country. So these are some of the beneficial that the country is going to get. Helps create a lot of jobs, contribute to GDP, and also creates energy security, which helps the country to avoid relying a lot on foreign oils, which I have my citation as Ahmed with some couple of authors as also well. And this article is in the present time, which is 2024. So I'll go to the second article, Rosa, which is also entitled Some Consequences of Oil Production from Oil Sand. So out of this, the scientific consequences that evidence that you had out of this oil sand production is the oil sand production releases greenhouse chemicals emission into the climate, into the atmosphere, which contribute directly to the climate changes. So it harms the ozone layer too as well. So which has a serious consequences on we the individual also living and also the wildlife, and also causes contamination to water bodies. So there's a release from chemicals. There's a release of chemicals from tailings tanks, which is released onto the water bodies, which causes a similar consequence to wildlife to us, and also with the individual as usual. So which must be taken into consideration. Also, argues that Canada should shift away from this extractions of oil and also move to the renewable energy, which can be helpful to the environment. It's not much harmful as with the oil extraction. So you can see that this point fight against the Canada's ability or these dreams to continue to produce oil sand extraction. So these are some of the harmful consequences that will be dealt with if Canada take this process on. So on my stand, what I'm going to stand on is because I'll go with the environmental argument because that's a very persuasive one and it's also very serious, more serious one. If this thing goes on, it's going to have a very significant impact and very significant consequences on the individuals and the wildlife too as usual. So I think Canada should refrain from the oil sand production, then move to renewable energy industries, which is not much as harmful as the oil sand production will be. So even though there's a much benefit to this, if Canada take this process into action, it's going to create a lot of jobs, contribute to the GDP, and also help with the energy security. Although you have to take into consideration the consequences that this might bring to a long-term environmental consequences to our water bodies, to the climate, and everything. So this has to be taken into consideration. Thank you. I understand out of the arguments I picked that I'm against the argument because it's going to have a lot of consequences on the environment and with the individual as usual. So thank you. I bring it to the end of my presentation. These are my references. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave your question in the comment section below and I will attend to it in no time. Thank you very much.